Hello, this is Gothic Hookah with my very first hookah discussion. I'm going to try doing a few of these because there's a lot I have to talk about. Today I'm talking about politics. I'm a very political individual. Okay, I live in the state of Washington. It sucks here. For some ungodly, unconceivable reason, it is against the law to have shisha or any tobacco product delivered to your house, which means I can't order my tobacco online. I'm working on fixing that. There is a tiny loophole in the law where I can get it delivered to a business but not a resident. I think that's fucking retarded. Secondly, this is an interesting, I have mixed emotions about the next thing I'm talking about, which is under the UCMJ. I'm not a military personnel, but this was something that was brought to my attention, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, that's the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Owning a hookah is classified as owning drug paraphernalia, and that is a court-martialable offense, which is retarded. You do not smoke anything but tobacco out of a frickin' hookah, okay? And let me explain to you why. Alright, a lot of people see a hookah and assume I smoke pot out of it. No, this could not be further from the truth. The reason you do not smoke pot out of a hookah is, one, you will mess up and possibly destroy your hookah due to the fact that there is tar in the marijuana and not in the hookah tobacco. And the reason there is no tar in the hookah tobacco has to do with the fact that it is baked and there's no direct flame involved. But that's neither here nor there. So you will get tar in your stem. It's just not a good idea to do. Ever. Never smoke anything but shisha out of your hookah. I don't care if it's herbal shisha, that's acceptable. Tobacco shisha, obviously. As long as it's shisha, which is a product made specifically for hookahs. You can't smoke anything else out of a hookah and have it end well for you. And you can't smoke shisha without a hookah. So how is that possession of drug paraphernalia? Now, I understand the flip side to the coin, which is a study, I don't know who did it, but I was reading this on WebMD, a study that indicates the majority of hookah smokers have at one time experimented with marijuana. But let's face it, in this day and age, the majority of Americans have experimented with marijuana. So that is like saying you can't own a car in the military because the majority of automobile drivers have experimented with alcohol. That is stupid. Whoever made that law is a fucking retard and doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. These kind of ignorance pisses me off. Every time my hookah gets called a bong, it pisses me off. It is not a bong, it is a fucking hookah. You can call it a water pipe, that's acceptable, but not a fucking bong. Bongs work differently than hookahs. Bongs less complicated than hookahs. If you fucking want to smoke pot out of a bong, go ahead. Be my guest. If you're a responsible adult, I don't give a fuck what you do. But a hookah is not a bong. It is not meant to smoke pot out of. Anybody who says a hookah is for pot is a fucking moron. Okay, sorry, that issue. I've had that argument one too many times, and if you can't tell, it makes me irate. So I'm going to smoke my hookah. Okay, let's talk facts here. And I'm only talking proven scientific facts. There is no tar in hookah smoke. And that has to do with the fact that any tobacco produces tar when burned at, I think it's 700 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't quote me on this, I'm not a scientist, but I know this to be true. Hookahs, properly set up hookah, which, by the way, not rocket science to do, with good heat management, only reaches about 200 to 300 degrees. I think it's like 300 to 350. I'm not sure the exact temperature on this, but my point is still valid. There's no tar. Next to no nicotine. Alright, a lot of people that I know use hookahs to help wean them off cigarettes, which I believe is a good thing. The military doesn't like their personnel. I happen to know this because I know a lot of people in the military. I live in a military town, Navy to be exact. Use hookah to blah. Sorry, I'm a little frustrated if you can't tell by the previous rant I went on, but a lot of people use it to wean themselves off cigarettes, and that's my point. And cigarettes are horrible for you. Now hookah is not healthy by any means necessary, by any extent of the imagination rather, but it's better. That's not saying much, because and let's face it, it's a more enjoyable experience. If you haven't smoked a hookah and do smoke cigarettes, try a hookah just once. I know people who smoke cigarettes, tried a hookah once, and freaking immediately fell in love with it. I mean, everything about the experience. It's still the oral fixation, and if you want to get psychology and blah 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 on oral fixations and why people smoke, Sigmund Freud talks about it a lot. I'm not going to cover that because, well, I think Sigmund Freud was a nut job. But again, I love my hookah. Not only do I not use it for smoking pot, I have a lot of pothead friends. I have threatened them. I mean, with physical, very violent bodily harm if they smoke pot out of my hookah, because it fucks up your hookah. Do not do this. This is not kosher. This is not cool. This is not acceptable. This is not what hookahs are for. Hookahs are for shisha. Only for shisha. They only work properly when used to smoke shisha. So, the military brass, the higher-ups, are retarded. They've probably never smoked a hookah. Now, this is why hookah bars are very commonly visited by Navy personnel, because they can get away with it. But I believe it should be everybody's right to do whatever they want with their body and put whatever they want in their body. But that's another issue. Is a hookah drug paraphernalia? Well, by the strictest definition, yes. Yes, it is. But then again, so is a tobacco pipe. And guess what? You're allowed to have a tobacco pipe in the Navy, in any branch of the military. I know a lot of people who got very far in the Navy who smoke tobacco pipe, but can't smoke a hookah. This is retarded, this is unjust, this is unfair. I wish that the military would change the policy, because I think it's stupid of them. I think it's incredibly short-sighted, and I think it's literally what I believe it is. It's succumbing to propaganda and popular imagery of hookahs. But guess what? Alice in Wonderland, the freaking, well, mind you, Alice in Wonderland probably not my best argument, but that's a beloved child's book and movie, and it is one big drug reference. Anybody who wants to go with popular imagery and whatnot, don't go there, please. Use your freaking brain. You can't make it that far in the military and be that fucking retarded. But I guess maybe you can. Maybe military intelligence really is as much of an oxy freaking moron as people claim. I don't know. I'm not in the military. But I think, you are putting your life on the line for the defense of your country. I believe you should be able to enjoy a beer and your. I think you should be able to enjoy a hookah. I think you should be able to own your own hookah. You can't. Now, many people in the military do, but they can get court-martialed for it if the wrong people find out. This is retarded. Anytime you can get criminal charges pressed against you for having a device used to smoke tobacco is fucking retarded. You are fucking retards if you think this is drug paraphernalia as far as the popular definition of drug paraphernalia. Thank you. Okay. that is all I have to say. This is my very first hookah commentary, and this is Gothic Hookah saying subscribe, comment. I want your opinion. Should this law be, or should either of the laws I've discussed be changed? If not, why? I don't want propaganda. I don't want fear-mongering. I don't want, well, some people smoke pot out of it. Guess what? Some people smoke pot out of an apple. Does that mean having possession of an apple is possession of drug paraphernalia? If you want to go with that argument, go ahead. Bring it. But I want intelligent, well-spoken, informed arguments. Thank you. Subscribe, comment, tell me what you think, and have a nice day.